What is going on, X community? This is Exostomp here, and today we're actually going to be going over week 1 for the EDL. It's going to be us, flying type, absolute Excadrills, versus normal type, which is Ribombee and Cambat, and their team RibombatX. And of course, since it's a tag team, joining me today is going to be Galaxy Ball.
Hello, everyone.
So, let's go over our team first. We had a Scarf Lando, which is actually, you know what? You talk about Lando, Rick.
So, our Landorus, of course, Landorus itself is really powerful. And it does have superpower, which, with a max attack stat, pretty much one-shots the entirety of their team, I think, except for possibly if they run very defensive on some Pokemon, but then also Chansey. So the main thing we needed to think about was making sure that we outspeed everything, because if we can go faster than everything, then we can kill them without them killing us. Because Landorus, of course, is 4 times weak to ice. They're probably going to run some ice coverage because a lot of our mons are weak to ice, so if it gets hit by even hidden power ice, it's probably dead. So that was our main goal, was to make sure that we can outspeed most of their mons and take them down in one shot before they could take us down. Of course, the knockoff is there in case we get an opening on Chansey, which is going to be very useful because, of course, Chansey is the main wall against Landorus, so if we can knock it off, we're done. Stone Edge is kind of just an extra cover move. I believe it was for Staraptor, because we might not one-shot Staraptor with a superpower. So in case we needed to take it down, if they brought it, we can kill it that way. And then, of course, U-turn if we switch it out, we believe we're not in a good spot and we need some extra momentum. So that was the main set with Landorus. It's a pretty standard offensive Scarf set, I think. Nothing too special, just heavy reliance on superpower rather than something like Earthquake, because it's not going to be as effective.
Yeah, I would like to mention that we're going to see soon, they actually brought Scarf Diggersby, and I didn't realize this, but if we were running Adamant, and then, of course, like, let's say we're just running max speed, the cap for Diggersby is 280, and then put on Scarf, would have been at 281.
Yeah, so unfortunately, we would have had one less threat to worry about, but hindsight, you know, we probably didn't think of it in the moment, so it's unfortunate, but
sometimes you speed creep a little too much.
And while Diggersby was the threat, I think the bigger threat was probably Heliolisk, so
yeah,
even then.
That's true. And for the next one is actually going to be the Skarmory.
Yeah, I could talk about Skarmory as well. Skarmory in this is mainly to be a physical wall in case Landorus needs to switch out, 1, because of its superpower debuff, and 2, if it's in a bad spot and we need something to tank a hit. So we just maxed out the defense and the health, as this thing is not supposed to be dealing damage, it's supposed to be basically buying us time. So we also put on Rocky Helmet, because if they keep running at it, we can just kind of roost stall them and they can take more damage. We do have spikes in case we are kind of at, there's a bit of downtime and we can set up spikes safely without having to roost. Iron Head, I believe just in case they brought out Wigglytuff, we would have a decent answer against it, as well as just overall a decent attacking move that could flinch. And then Counter was your idea, if you want to talk about that.
Counter was here. They have a lot of physical threats like Obstagoon, Diggersby, even Snorlax, so we are able to live even a super effective move by 50% or sometimes more. Counter's there to, well, counter and knock them out if they were staying in and attacking us. I think we got one off, but it wasn't, I think it was like on a U-turn or something, so it wasn't really strong, but
I think it did kill something, but it was at a point of the match that things weren't going super well.
Yeah. But yeah, I think this set was okay. Yeah, the only thing is, man, if only we went for that weak armor swords dance.
I don't think that would have worked.
No,
I like the spirit, but not for this one.
Fine. Alright, well, here we got Togekiss. This was our Scarfer, our other Scarfer, with Serene Grace, of course. We were running Aura Sphere because we're versing a mono normal team, so might as well run Aura Sphere. Air Slash is there to flinch if we need to. Wish, of course, is there to heal up something, like let's say the Skarmory or even the Landorus, because just in case they need to switch in on something, and we can't recover them. And then the Trick is here to either trick the Chansey, which is actually the main role. If we were able to trick the Chansey, get rid of the Violate, then we don't need to deal with the Chansey, we just spam Aura Sphere. The Spread, don't remember what exactly it was for, but this outspeeds, I think it just outspeeds their whole team with a Scarf, if they're not running Scarf, which is pretty good. Alright. This next mod is actually Aerodactyl. So, Aerodactyl, the speed was here to outspeed everything, even the Lopunny. That's how much speed we needed to outspeed everything, even the Lopunny, so that was pretty good. We just put everything else in attack and then HP. We had Iron Head, Crunch, Ice Fang, and Aerial Ace. You ran Ice Fang, of course, this is the Raptor. The Iron Head was for, I think it was like for Wigglytuff, right?
Yeah, Wigglytuff, and then also just Flinch in general.
Yeah. Crunch was for the, wow, I forgot the name of that Pokemon.
Indeedee.
Yeah, Indeedee. I was thinking Mimikyu. That's the wrong Pokemon. And Aerial Ace was there for Stab, because this thing doesn't learn Bravery. Just said, but, right.
Yeah, and unfortunately, Aerodactyl does not have good options when it comes to fighting moves. So,
Flying, either.
Yeah. So So maybe it wasn't the best call to bring it, but it was nice to have just kind of a versatile attacker, like another option on our team, because relying too heavily on Landorus might not be the best option, though. And again, Landorus did most of the work, so
Yeah.
hard to say.
Yeah, I think if we brought Dragonite instead of Aerodactyl, it may have been a better idea. But, you know, like you said, hindsight, so it is what it is.
It's a warm-up for the most part.
Yeah, it's fine. And then we got Articuno. Articuno, we just went max special defense, max HP. This was here to tank, of course, any special move. Thunderbolts from a Heliolisk, I think it does a little bit over 50, which sucks. But you know, it's fine. It could tank ice moves, which is alright. We have
its main role was to tank things like hidden power ices and stuff that we weren't going to expect if we wanted to play it safe.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, our team is really weak to special electric moves no matter what. So Articuno is our best option there. Even though it takes more than we want it to, it can buy us some time. So it's a little bit of a risky play, but you know, that's the problem with monotype in general.
Yeah, true. Of course, we got Roost, Ice Beam, U-Turn, and Heal Bell. The Heal Bell was here for like T-Waves or something that's parried or toxic to something that's good to have.
Yeah, in case like Landorus gets burned, for example.
Yeah. U-Turn, of course, for Momentum, Ice Beam for being Ice Beam, Stab, and then Roost, of course, for healing.
Stall.
And Stall, yeah, sure. Okay, Stall.
I mean, the same thing.
Yeah. Heavy Duty Boots is probably the only thing that Articuno is actually going to be running. So, yeah.
Yeah, even if we don't think they're gonna put up rocks, there's not really much else that it can run, like maybe leftovers or something. But just not taking 50% of your health from random rocks is probably worth it.
Yeah, we could have ran an electric berry, an electric resist berry, which would have been okay, but you know, that's fine. Then we got here. Oh, Kiwi. You want to talk about Kiwi?
Yeah, so Masquerade was one, Sticky Webs is great. It's just going to be fantastic momentum if we can get it up. But we were just kind of thinking about what else it can be used for, because in this matchup, Masquerade's a little bit too frail to stay in and really take anything down. So we kind of plotted back and forth a bit and decided, in case Chansey becomes a really big issue, and they play really smart with it and basically keep walling off her Landorus in some way, Masquerade can come in with Infestation and basically trap it to death with Toxic and Infestation and stall it out with Roost, so that they can't do anything against Masquerade, and then Chansey dies and we don't have to worry about it. And that would be the case if they basically make sure not to lose the Eviolite and just wall us off as much as possible with it. We have Masquerade as an answer, because they probably won't expect an Infestation Grip Claw set.
Yeah, we tested this Masquerade a lot. We tested it with Binding Band, which does more damage for Infestation, like over time, whereas the Grip Claw holds them in for longer. And we figured that holding them in for longer was better just because we can Roost stall it and Toxic stall it out. And look, okay, now this is like a joke thing. Like, I said it at first, and then we tested it, and it worked.
It was funny, but it worked. it like almost had a 100% chance to kill the Chansey before the Infestation runs out. Which is
Unless
really funny,
it was running Soft Boiled Wish, which somehow you made work.
Look, in case they ran Soft Boiled Wish, you never know.
I guess so. But yeah, with that all out of the way, let's get on to the games. Or game, rather. So, yeah. We start off with Lando, of course, as I start off with Chansey. Now here we're just like, we can just knock off. They go in the low bunny. They're a little crazy, but, it is what it is.
Yeah, at the beginning, our kind of thought process is we could start by setting up webs or something like that, but Landers can kill anything except for Chansey.
Mm-hmm.
So if they start off with anything except for Chansey, we superpower and kill something. If they start off with Chansey, we knock off and either knock off Chansey or they switch out and we get a knockoff on something for free. So, like, the worst play for us would be if they start with Chansey and then switch to, like, low bunny.
Yeah.
So that's what we were a little bit afraid of here, but they stay in, which confused me. I'm not sure if they weren't expecting knockoff.
I don't know why.
But
versus a Chansey team?
They lose their... I'm not sure, but they lose their Eviolite on Chansey turn 1, which basically means that Chansey becomes incredibly frail to Landorus, and I think dies in one hit.
Yes.
So that was a nice morale boost for us, because we basically thought, okay, so now Landorus can kill everything in one hit if we can get it in, which is really nice. So now we need to play just completely around Landorus 100%.
Yeah, it was a little confusing seeing Ribombi stay in on a Landorus with a Chansey, because I didn't understand the play. Like, if you know that Landorus has knockoff, switch into anything else. Like, anything, it doesn't really matter. Like, okay, Heliolisk needs a Scarf, yes, but like Snorlax or like probably Snorlax would have been the best play.
Or Lopunny. I mean, Lopunny doesn't take the knockoff boost.
But, superpower and stuff is a little scary.
Yeah, there is the risk there, definitely.
But let's move on here.
I feel like they probably felt like Chansey wasn't reliable in this match in some form. Maybe they thought we would bring Mandibuzz to have an extra knockoff. It's hard to say, but...
Yeah, I mean, see, but now that's knocked off, Togekiss can put in work too.
Mm-hmm.
But, alright, they just go for Seismic Toss and weaken our Landorus, which is fine. And then they soft boiled up, which is okay. We just put up Spikes as a T-Wave. And then they just go straight into Staraptor here as we get paralyzed. Sucks. And they defog. This is weird. This is a very weird play, them defogging. I was like, the only way they can get rid of this is with defog, because they didn't bring Komala. And they went for it, so...
That lets us know that they're not relying on rocks for this matchup, which makes us feel a lot safer in terms of letting something like Chansey stay in, because it's unlikely that they have rocks. Maybe they do have stealth rock, but it lets us know that they're more worried about hazards than we are. They brought defog as their only room.
Yeah.
Which is interesting.
We just go for an Iron Head, weaken it a little bit as they just U-turn, take the Rocky Helmet chip, and go into Snorlax. Sadly, we get paralyzed again, which is a little annoying. It's fine. It's game. We go into Togekiss on the Curse, and here we just tricked because we were hoping that they would go for it again, as they just go for Heat Crash, which is a little scary now.
We knew that a +1 boosted attack from Snorlax wouldn't kill Togekiss, so if they cursed again, that would have been really good, but at least we could survive one hit. But now Snorlax is stuck into Heat Crash, which is scary because nothing on our team can really take a curse-boosted Heat Crash well. So our best option here is to go into Aerodactyl and basically, since Aerodactyl isn't super useful in this matchup, use it to take down Snorlax and sacrifice itself.
Yeah.
Because here we're weakening it enough, hoping for the flinches, which we do get 1 or 2, I think, and basically making it weak enough so that it dies to Landorus, because with the +1 defense, it will survive at max health.
Right. So now we can knock it out easily. Superpower, and let's see. So Heliolisk comes in. Of course, we got to switch into Articuno because expecting the HP Ice, as we see, HP Ice. They switch into Chansey, so we U-turn, predicting, and we have the momentum back, which is great. So now we just go for a free superpower again.
So now they basically decide what they want to die at this point, which they choose Staraptor. So now it dies. So now we need to. So here we see Diggersby come out. Now I'm not sure if Diggersby would survive a -1 superpower, but we kind of talk back and forth at this point, and we think, is Diggersby Scarf here? Because why would they send out Diggersby when they could just send out Heliolisk again? So at this point, we kind of decide Diggersby probably has Scarf. So we don't want to send out Landorus against it because it will outspeed us.
Yeah, and also, Masquerain was here it was here for the Chansey, but now that it doesn't have a Violate, we don't really need it. So we were like, if it dies, it dies. It's fine. Yeah.
It's better to get the momentum back, as well as also intimidate it so it's a bit weaker.
Yeah. We get off that double intimidate, and now the either switch or they use Ice Punch again, which they Ice Punch again, so that just confirms that it's Scarf.
Yeah. We believe it's Scarf. With the -2 intimidate, we maybe could have lived a hit with Landorus. Actually, I think you calculated it and it still would have died, even with -2.
Yeah. Yeah.
So at least Skarmory takes very little chip damage from the Ice Punch, and forces them to switch out because -2 against Rocky Helmet Skarmory is not going to do anything. So we have a free turn to set up spikes, pretty much.
Yep.
Which maybe it would have been. Kind of thinking back, I wonder if it would have been a smart play to predict them to switch and just go right back into Landorus, but then again, Heliolisk would just outspeed it, so...
Yeah, and also HP Ice, and... yeah.
Yeah.
So, I think...
The fact that they have 2 things that are faster than Landorus kind of hurt.
Yeah.
Because it means that if one of them is walled off, they could just switch into the other without an issue.
But we just here sack out our Togekiss, because it did its job, it tricked. That's really all it was there for.
Yeah.
We just go into Skarmory to take on the Diggersby as it takes more chip damage from Rocky Helmet and goes straight into Heliolisk again. Here, I don't remember what we did.
I think we were just gonna go for an Iron Head, if I remember correctly.
Did that or counter, and then it got paralyzed. So.
Which I think you were more happy with, so that we didn't show it.
Yeah.
Because it was against a U-turn, which didn't do anything. But at this point, we were just kind of thinking we need to figure out a good time to send in Landorus, which unfortunately against a Heliolisk and Diggersby is really tricky. And at this point, me and you debated back and forth whether we should switch into Articuno or Landorus.
Yeah.
Because he's either going to use Thunderbolts or Hidden Power Ice.
Now,
basically.
I was thinking he's he's gonna HP Ice because the only big threat left is Landorus, and once they get that down, it's done. And they have switch-ins afterwards if they get the play wrong if we go into Articuno. So that was what I was thinking. But
I was going one step further, and I was thinking they're going to think that we're going to think that. Therefore, they're going to predict us to switch into Articuno and use a Thunderbolt. So we switch into Landorus. You know.
Yeah. Yeah. Now, we both made a wrong decision here. It is what it is. But yeah, they go for HP Ice instead. If we did go into Articuno, they would have had to switch, so we could have U-turned out, and they had to not be in the Heliolisk because they switched, so we could have outsped anything with Lando. Maybe, I don't know.
They could have gone into Diggersby though. We were in a tight spot pretty much.
Yeah, it was tough. If we did run max speed on Lando, we would have outsped the Diggersby, and then it would have been.
Diggersby wouldn't be an issue, and I think we would have had the advantage because then only Heliolisk would be faster, and then if we walled off Heliolisk, they didn't really have much to do.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm just gonna let this play out. We 100% lost.
Interestingly, they stacked their Chansey, which lets us get a -3 differential instead of -4, which is nice. Or was it? Did they sack their Chansey or did they sack their Lopunny?
I don't remember.
It's interesting here because they never go back into Heliolisk until the very end. I would like to ask what their reasoning was if they thought that we had something that could take it down. But they go into Lopunny instead of just going into Heliolisk and Thunderbolt spamming, which allows us to wall it off with Skarmory and Iron Head it to death pretty much, which allows us to have a slightly better differential, which I'll take, but still pretty interesting.
Yeah. They probably weren't expecting the counter though.
I wonder if they would have switched out when it got low instead of going for the last attack if the counter threw them off. Which, if the counter threw them off, hey, it was worth it. We got a kill out of it.
Yeah.
But it was just kind of funny.
Hell
counter,
yeah, look at that.
it was a little funny. And then they just finished it off with Heliolisk, which they probably could have done a lot sooner. But
oh yeah. But yeah, that was the game.
Yeah.
Heliolisk was very
smart of them to bring two fast answers to Landorus, because that was definitely the premier threat of our team in this matchup.
But let's just talk about this now. We actually switched up our team because we realized that we can't beat Electric if we don't have Lando alive. So
yeah, it was a little scary. And some of our choices, kind of looking at their moveset and kind of what we have available, it was lacking in certain areas. So what did we switch? I'm trying to think off the top of my head.
We have Thunderous for the Volt Absorb, so we have a switch into it, as well as it can live HP Ices from most Pokemon, if not all, besides Ice types, which wouldn't make sense, but and it also has a huge move pool. I guess I can put it up. Thunderous. There it is. Okay.
Yeah, I think Thunderous will be a huge addition to our team because we have answers to Ice in terms of Articuno, but in terms of answers to Electric, it's not much, and we don't want Landorus to be the thing we're switching in to predict attacks.
Yeah, and this Pokemon can be physical or special. Its special attack is incredible. Its speed's not bad at 101. 105, even 105 attack is great. Bulk up agility, just nasty plot. This Pokemon learns a lot. And even U-turn and Volt Switch, which is awesome. So we had to grab it.
Bad.
Its defense isn't bad either. It's not the best, but it definitely can take an ice move, which is nice.
Yeah.
And then we also grabbed Drifblim. So
I love Drifblim. Drifblim's amazing.
Yeah, we gotta have Drifblim.
It's super flexible. It has Strength Sap now, which just makes it an absolute menace to deal with in terms of physical. We could run a Flare Boost set, which is really fun, especially with Trick. And having a Ghost type is pretty nice because it means that we can have an answer to fighting in normal types. So just overall, I think it's a nice, solid addition to our team. Plus, also another defog user,
Yep.
of course. because
And
flying types so much.
and we have a rapid spin answer, so we can just switch into it.
Right.
It also has knockoff, which is another knockoff user that we liked.
It has knockoff? Oh, even
yeah.
better.
Yeah.
I didn't even know that.
It also has weather ball, which is pretty cool against water. So yeah, we switched these up. We took out Crobat because we realized, yeah, it can be a little flexible, but not as flexible as like Thundurus and Drifblim. And we also took out Mandibuzz. The Mandibuzz is okay. Mandibuzz is definitely a good Pokemon, but if we could take Thundurus and Drifblim over those two, all day, let's take Thundurus, because we needed a Thundurus, we needed a Volt Absorber, and it was either like that or what was the other one? Motor Drive. What was it? It was Imaga, which Imaga, you know, it's not. It's Imaga, yeah. It's got
not
muzzle.
Thunder.
No. Yeah. It does have U-turn and Volt Switch, which is pretty good. But yeah. So yeah, our new team. You guys will probably maybe see a few next time. I don't know what we're even versing. What are we versing next?
Next time we are versing the only. I don't know.
Okay. Calculated risk. Okay, so Steel.
Which will be interesting. I think they made a recent switch that gave them an answer to some of our mons, which is annoying. But
yeah,
hey.
they switched out Clefty for Magneton, which is annoying. Which means we probably do have to bring Thundurus. But you know that's fine.
Now we have Thundurus.
Yeah. Thank God, because Magneton would have swept her whole team. But yeah, guys, that is it. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, please leave a like. Okay, I want to see you guys like, comment, maybe let me know what you guys thought about week 1, if you guys are participating. And yeah, that all out of the way. I'll see you all next time. Peace.